Alright, we're back right where we left off in the last episode, and let's go ahead and see if we can finish the game. I'm going to return to myself for another consultation, by the way. Oh, Thomas Blake is back.
Good day, Dean Blogg. Fare you well?
Most well indeed, and I will tell you why. The conquering cherub has lately returned home to England.
Ah, this being the voyage you did invest in.
Aye, and what a sound investment it was, for it has paid off most handsomely. The cherub's cargo of nutmeg and pepper will fetch a high price indeed. In sooth, as I recall, it was you who advised me on this investment, was it not? I thank ye heartily for it, sir.
I am glad to have been of service, Dean Blogg.
Forsooth, my earnings have enabled me to make a substantial investment in Sir Walter Raleigh's expedition to the New World.
Ah, methinks I've heard of this. 'Tis a quest to find the fabled lost city of gold, is it not? Or, as the Spanish call it, El Dorado?
The very same. For it is said that El Dorado does lie deep within the rainforests of the southern parts of the New World, hiding vast quantities of gold and precious jewels. Hence, what I would have you tell me is, exactly how rich can I expect to be made from my investment?
I see.
For if I am to be made very rich, I am afeard that news of my fabulous wealth may cause some jealousy among the clergy. News travels fast around the diocese, and I think it wise to get ahead of it if I can.
Then let us consult the stars. What will become of Thomas Blogg's investment in Sir Walter Raleigh's quest to find El Dorado?
House of Finances represents unhappiness, confidence, instinct, and stubbornness, and violence. Shows optimism in reverse, so pessimism represents the inverse of death and indicates a surprising reversal. There is cause for pessimism and a surprising reversal to save the lives of children. Or God rewards exploration, and Blogg will be able to leave his children a legacy of fine things. Versus Blake's finances will bring him unhappiness. The expedition will encounter foreigners who are stubborn, confident, and led by instinct. And the Plague's business partners will be met with violence. Well, being that El Dorado doesn't exist, we're going to pick that one.
I have ill tidings for you, Dean Blogg. Raleigh and his men have been set upon by a tribe of angry New World natives.
Angry natives? But surely the natives would greet us with much rejoicing. For do we not bring with us the gift of civilization? Would they not crave freedom from their tyrannical chieftains and cruel pagan gods?
Well, it would seem these particular natives cannot be reasoned with, as they are led by instinct alone, and they will fight to the last man, as it is not in their nature to surrender with honor, as Christian men would.
Truly? But,
Alas, I am afeard that Raleigh shall be forced to abandon his search for El Dorado, and your investment will come to naught.
I must own, sir, that I cannot share your uncharitable view of these savages. They may be heathens, but are they not still God's children? I will now take my leave, that you may engage in quiet reflection upon the spiritual dimensions of this question.
Yeah, we get a negative for that one. Yep. And tulip bulbs. There was a guy that invested in tulip bulb futures and had the potential to make a lot of money, and I'm pretty sure it all went absolutely sideways on him. But I'm guessing that's probably a Easter egg to that.
Good morrow, sir, and well met.
Indeed, 'tis I, Riccardo Ferraro, come once again to the great Dottore Simon Forman.
Aye, and I can see why you are come. Methinks you are not well, signor. The colour of your face is quite alarming.
It is because I am losing the blood. The blood does drain away from my face, way down my body, and out of my...
You are bleeding from your fundament. How much have you been bleeding, and for how long?
Un poco, not too much. It does come and go. Sometimes blood, sometimes no blood. You stop the blood, see?
Mayhap I will, but first I must consult the stars to find a diagnosis. What ails Signor Riccardo Ferraro?
Hemorrhoids, which are swelling in the anus and rectum. Blind hemorrhoids cause pain, whereas open hemorrhoids are apt to bleed. Or jaundice. Yeah, he's just got hemorrhoids.
There is nothing here to worry about, Signor Ferraro. Your body is merely purging itself of corrupted blood, in a similar manner to that which does occur in a woman's nethers each month. To wit, 'tis most healthsome and natural.
Are you sure? Are you sure that is your final answer?
Indeed it is. I do assure you, Signor, 'tis the very latest medical thinking on the subject of hemorrhoids. You are welcome to procure a second opinion, but I warrant you will find that most doctors in London will tell you the same.
Then Riccardo Ferraro bids you good day, Signor Forman.
This woman has a gift for words. If only she had riches words, they'd probably be much better words. Though written by Our Lady.
Did you see that?
See what, madam?
Your querent, Signor Ferraro, scuttling away from me like a frighted rabbit. What have I ever done to upset the man? All I did was wish him buongiorno as I passed him at the door.
Verily, Signor Ferraro's behaviour does sound full strange. But let us not think of him, but of the matter that brings you hither, Mistress Lanier. How do you fare?
I fare most well, in the main, for I'm happy to report that you were quite wrong in judging that collaboration with Mr. S would fare ill, for in sooth 'tis going exceeding well. Verily, Dr. Forman, I would be right content with my lot at present if it were not for the trouble I am come about this day.
Pray, tell me of this trouble, madam.
I am being prowled. Oftentimes in the night I see him following me home. One time methinks I even caught him looking at me through my window. I would have you tell me who this prowling man might be.
A prowler? How very worrisome. Can you describe this man to me?
Nay, for 'tis always at night that I spy him, and I have always been too frighted for my eyes to linger upon him very long.
Then let us see what light the stars can shed upon the identity of this man who hides himself in darkness. Who is the man prowling Mistress Lanier?
So A, we say it's her husband. So we're either saying, yeah, I think we're trying to say that it is Shakespeare himself. Yeah, let's just blame it on her husband.
Madam, how have relations betwixt you and Mr. Lanier been of late? Does he exhibit any signs of a cruel or controlling nature? Is he prone to violence?
Aye, indeed, Dr. Forman. My husband uses uncouth words, throws my books about, and even breaks chairs when he is in a temper. All the more so after he overindulges in strong drink.
I am full sorry to hear it, madam, but it does solve our mystery, for the stars suggest that it is none other than your husband who has been prowling you.
Verily, in truth, it does not surprise me. I will to home go and tell my husband to...
Prithee, madam, for the sake of your safety, act not in haste. If confronted, your husband may do you harm.
There is truth in what you say. Forsooth, if Alfonso would spend his evenings following me about, mayhap I leave him to it. For if he hopes to catch me cuckolding him with another man, he will be exceeding disappointed.
Hear ye! Sir Walter Raleigh fails to find legendary Treasure City. Rumours say next Raleigh voyage is to Pot of Gold at End of Rainbow. Hear ye!
So it didn't go well.
Here comes Emma, so kindly she, to the frail and aged she offers sympathy. What is she for others has? Especially when they're born of wealth. Here comes Emma, so kind-hearted is she.
So she's not a
Good day to
gold
you,
digger.
Mr. Sharp.
Good day, Dr. Forman. But I am Mistress Delamere now.
Mr. Delamere? But as I recall from my case notes... let me see now. 'Twas 3 years past. Aye, were you not hoping to marry a man named George Middleton?
Oh, yes. I did marry Mr. Middleton. For though I did tell my family what you said about his condition of the heart, they quite insisted that I marry him. And truly, they were full wrong to do so, for just as you predicted, Mr. Middleton did verily die of his cardiac passion, mere months after we were wed.
So soon.
She liked that, dude.
How
She
very
liked that.
tragical.
I blame the Scotsman who took to playing his bagpipes below our bedroom window at odd hours of the day and night. Such a bothersome man. Betwixt him and the vipers Mr. Middleton discovered one morning nesting in his undergarments, I fear 'twas all too much for his poor, weak heart.
She put snakes in his underwear drawer, dude.
There,
What
there,
the
my
hell?
dear lady. How distressing your late husband's death must have been for you.
Aye, indeed, Dr. Forman, so much so that my friends urged me to marry again, lest I die of grief. But now that I am once more a wife, I would not wish to be widowed anew, and John Delamere, my present husband, is also an older man.
Imagine that.
Dr. Forman, you must tell me whether there be any illness he has, whether there be anything I might do to save my dear sweet husband from an early death.
So
Then
you
let
that
us
can
see
then
what
do the
stars
opposite.
have
Got
to
it.
say. Is Mr. John Delamere troubled with any condition that may cause him to die?
Alright, so let's help her kill her husband. Just a little murder. So, a cardiac passion as well. He's been bewitched. Or he has a sore throat. Yeah, sure, if you start putting vipers in his underwear drawer and have someone randomly play bagpipes, it's probably going to give him a heart attack.
Madam,
So, there you go.
I am afeard your new husband suffers from a cardiac passion.
Oh, not Mr. Delamere as well?
Aye, 'tis a common condition among men of a certain age. You must keep him away from anything that may cause him alarm or shock. To wit, changes in temperature, sudden noises and surprises, and bagpipes and snakes.
Oh, I will, sir, I will indeed. I thank ye for this wise counsel. Good day, Dr. Forman.
I don't know why the audio just glitched and doubled, but okay. I'm wearing headphones, so it's not even speakers. Yeah, she was happy about he could die from a heart attack.
Fiddles a fine host she will oft boast. She loves to entertain, she loves to entertain. Though hard she does try, her dinners go awry. And in tears and shame.
So what did she get a hold of this time?
Good morrow, Mistress Fortescue. How may I help you this day?
I did lately experience feelings of a most strange and disturbing nature, for which I desire an explanation.
I see. Prithee describe these feelings to me, madam. When did they occur?
Last eve, at a dinner party hosted by my dear friend Mistress Emma Delamere. All was well at first, but soon after my arrival I was stricken with a kind of madness.
Madness, you say?
Yes, moments during which I found myself overcome with feelings of mirth, laughing most immoderately at the dullest of remarks made by other guests. At other times I felt an unnatural fascination with the shape of the candelabra in the table's centrepiece. And all the while I was so ravenous with hunger, I quite absent-mindedly ate all the sweetmeats at my end of the table. I fear my rapaciousness did not escape the notice of guests seated beside me.
Such an immoderate appetite is out of character for you, I take it. It could not have merely been occasioned by anxious passions?
Why, nay, Dr. Forman. Forsooth, I ought to have been very calm last eve, for I did spend the afternoon inhaling the fumes of an aromatic oil, a gift from my sweet husband, sent back from his explorations in the Near East. I did mention my husband, Captain Henry Fortescue, before, I think. He is a great friend of Sir Walter Raleigh. Oh, Henry and Sir Walter find the oil most relaxing, so he tells me.
Yet you were not so very relaxed last eve, I take it.
No, not in the least.
Oh, she was
For I
super
fear
relaxed.
A capricious spell was cast upon me. Over the course of the evening, I developed the strongest intuition that malignant forces were present in the room, and that I had been bewitched.
Oh,
Could
you
it
were
be
just
true,
paranoid.
Dr. Foreman? Might a witch have cast a spell on me?
No,
That
you were
is something
stoned.
we shall have to ask the stars, madam. Let us see. What was it that afflicted Mistress Sybil Fortescue last eve at dinner?
She was high as balls. Melancholy, bewitched, smoke inhalation. You were
Now,
high.
madam, the oil your husband sent you. This was the first time you did inhale its fumes, methinks.
Yes, the shipment of gifts from my husband did only lately arrive.
Ah, then I think we have your answer. I have read some interesting tales of such oils and herbs of the Near East. 'Tis said they occasion certain temperaments, to wit, an excessive sanguinity, which will have caused the immoderate laughter and increased appetite. They can also provoke a narrowing of the mind, which would explain your temporary fascination with the candelabra, and I believe the fumes of this oil may also have been responsible for the notion that you have been bewitched.
And the men of the Near East gain pleasure from this oil? They would render themselves foolish on purpose.
Aye, indeed. Foreigners have many strange customs and desires that we cannot hope to understand.
How fascinating! I thank you for this explanation, sir. Indeed, 'twill make for a most diverting tale with which to regale guests at my next dinner. God give you good morrow, Dr. Forman.
Yeah, dude, just pass it around. Everybody will eat and be laughing. It'll be great. Oh, we've almost got our letter of recommendation.
Another consultation. Will this one end in bed? Or will Mistress Allen slap him round the head?
Ah, good day, Mistress Allen. What brings you this day? Oh, dear lady, you tremble like a leaf on an autumn day.
Aye, for I am most affrighted. But Mr. Allen says he thinks I worry over naught. So I am come to you, for methinks you would... Perchance you may help me.
By my troth, Pray tell me of this evil that affrightens you, madam, and I shall do all in my power to protect you from it.
Yes, evil. Oh, indeed, 'tis the very word for it. I have seen a dark figure prowling outside our house in the night, and once I saw him spying through my window. Who is he? What does he want from me? What am I to do?
I see. And you do not recognize his face or any other particulars? The colour of his hair, for instance?
Oh, nay, for 'tis always so dark. But by his silhouette I can tell he is a bony, scrawny little man.
Is he verily? But your husband thinks 'tis naught to worry over, you say?
Aye, he says the man is doubtless naught but a poor travelling tinker who is merely taking shelter in our garden. 'Twould explain why his figure is so slight, to be sure, but what if he is not a tinker? What if his purpose is more sinister?
Aye, indeed. Then let us consult the stars.
Due time is being a
Who is the
creep.
man prowling outside the Allen's house in the night, and what is his purpose?
Let's go with B.
The stars suggest the prowler is a secret foe of your husband. Does Mr. Allen have any gambling debts, perchance?
Hold. Methinks I see it now. Ah, 'tis you! The prowler, 'tis you!
Me? How now, madam? What an outlandish notion.
So you would deny it? That you have prowled and spied upon me these last months?
Prithee, Avis, you've got it all
I will not have it. I am not a thing to be owned. I'm not one of your prized possessions.
I prithee, madam, put that down. Put it...
Ah!
Fie, madam! That was a priceless Venetian vase.
Uh-oh. Well, dude, you shouldn't have been creeping on her.
Who is this man who has on such a claim? Lately returned from his conquests in Spain. The streets of London resound with his fame. Robert Devereux, that is his name.
Good day, sir. How may I... By Jupiter! Can it be true? Robert Devereux, the Earl of Essex, Lord of Her Majesty's Privy Council, the hero of the Battle of Cadiz.
Prithee, calm yourself, sirrah. Pray, treat me just as you would any other querate.
Of course, as it pleases your lordship. But may I say, what a great privilege it is to... may I offer you a...
You are the man who had some success treating the plague some years past, are you not?
Oh, indeed, my lord. You are very well informed. My strong water did save many a Londoner from a most lamentable death.
Then perchance you might have some cunning cure for me as well, for since I am returned to England upon having resolved that small matter in Spain, I find myself afflicted with the most vexing ailment.
Oh, but your most glorious capture of the Spanish city of Cadiz was no small matter, my lord. All England talks of nothing else. Why, pamphlets recounting your heroic exploits are sold on every street corner in London.
Mayhap they are. I know nothing of them. My single-handed victory against the King of Spain was but a trifling affair, and the least I could do for my queen and a grateful nation. But I fear vast riches and the hearts of many a Spanish beauty were not the only things I did capture while I was there.
What else did you capture in Spain, my lord? I fear I do not grasp your meaning. If you would kindly show me where upon your body you are...
As you see, this Spanish disease I caught has me oozing a most disagreeable substance.
Methinks I have a fair idea of the nature of your affliction, but I must confirm the judgment with a reading of the stars. Let us see, what disease troubles Robert Lord Devereux, the Earl of Essex?
Get the hammer. Yeah, no. Get the hammer.
You have gonorrhea, my lord. 'Tis a condition provoked by an increase in intimate activities.
Too much strumpy-humpy, eh? Well, 'tis true that since news of my victory got about, every wench from Southwark to Shoreditch wants a piece of my action, as it were. And how may this gonorrhea be cured?
The most effective method is lead plate therapy. Usually this requires a man to lie in bed for many hours with a leaden plate positioned upon his privy parts, thus allowing the lead to impart its healing properties to the affected member. But, of course, men such as your lordship have no time to lie around in bed, which is why... Let me just fetch it from my cabinet. Which is why I invented this.
And that is what? Some sort of wonder job, like the ones old men used to wear?
Precisely so, my lord. 'Tis a codpiece that I had a blacksmith fashion out of lead. I invite your lordship to wear it under your breeches so that the lead may remain in contact with your privy member at all times. Indeed, until you are cured.
How very droll this is. Verily, how old-fashioned. I will appear as hung as old King Henry Tudor. Mayhap I just wear it in my chambers.
Good day, and please come again. If you need anything at all, I am at your service.
So we sold him a lead cod piece. Oh, we got quite the ways to the letter of recommendation, so that's a good thing.
Watch your lover, Avis, watch her night and day. If a woman has your heart, you cannot let her stray.
Avis, I did not expect to see you this evening. Do you bring news?
Aye, some very good news, at least if you confirm it for me. Methinks I am with child.
How very wondrous. And, have you any idea of who might...
Aye, verily, with child, but I dare not to. Forsooth, what if it be naught but false hope?
Then let us ask the stars without delay. Is Mistress Avis Allen verily with child?
Oof. So we can tell her she's with child, but it's not going to survive. Or we can tell her that she's not actually pregnant and her family thinks she's lazy.
Madam, the stars confirm that you are indeed with child, and that the father is...
Oh, joy! Simon, is it not wondrous? You and I are to be blessed.
Hold. I am not finished. The stars also reveal the identity of the father.
There is no need to read the stars for that, for surely 'tis obvious that you...
Prithee, admit it. You have been coupling with my manservant, William.
Why, you...
Oh, that's not what I meant to pick.
The stars say nothing of the sort.
See here, in my chart. 'Tis plain as day. In the house of children, alongside Venus, there is the planet Mars. Who else but William could that be?
But such scribblings of yours, they mean nothing to me. For all I know, you make up those stories about planets and houses and such. Why, verily, perchance you might draw up a new chart, Simon. One that tells of how the planet Avis is no longer in the House of Forman.
You would mock me, madam? You would make a jest of my... Oh, I see. Leaving now, are you? Then you do so. You leave. I bid you good day.
Oops. Yeah, we only get one more. But we got the letter of recommendation, so it doesn't really matter as much.
Rich but not satisfied, mayhap you have not tried this one weird trick for displaying your wealth. Buy herbs and confections to boost your complexion and pass idle hours tending to your health.
Good even, sir. Who do I have the pleasure of welcoming to my chambers this day?
Nicholas Muggs, sir, proprietor of Muggs Rugs down on Silver Street.
Ah, the wig makers. You supply wigs to players, do you not? I have heard tell of your fine work from some of my playhouse querents.
I thank ye for your kindness, sir. I do hear you are very skilled at your trade also. For are you not the curer of the plague of 92? Forsooth, I do hope you may cure me as well. For though I do not think I have the plague, whatever I have is doubtless most grave, no matter what my wife thinks.
And what is it your wife thinks?
It be her mind that I have taken naught but a chilly cold in the head. But 'tis not so, Dr. Forman, for I ache all over. My throat is grown sore, and I cough day and night.
Day and night, you say?
Aye, verily.
I see. Then let us consult the stars. What does ail Nicholas Mugg?
So should I tell him he's a hypochondriac? Or should I just tell him he has a cold? We'll just say he has a cold for now.
I am pleased to say that your wife is correct, and you have little to worry over. You have what we doctors call frigidus ad hominem, or as it is more commonly known, a man cold.
Frigid... A man cold, you say?
Aye, 'tis a cold in the head, suffered uniquely by those of the male sex. And, although it be a minor affliction, the suffering can be very great.
A minor affliction, you say? That cannot be right. I bid you check the stars again, sir. For see how ill I am, and my throat grows so hoarse I can hardly speak.
I think the trouble in your throat may be occasioned by overuse. Perhaps you might try, discoursing less.
Well, I think you ought to know that I will be seeking a second opinion.
As you will, sir. Good day.
Should have told him he was a hypochondriac.
Robert Lord Devereux's a rising star, dashing and debonair, he will go far. Oh, London greets him with cries of huzzah. In truth, we cannot stay so sweet when we are.
Good day, my lord. How may I do you service? Would it pertain to some thrilling adventure upon which you may soon be embarking?
Indeed it does. Sir Walter Raleigh and I did recently come across some intelligence concerning a fleet of Spanish ships that will soon be sailing home from the New World, bearing a goodly cargo of gold. Raleigh and I plan to borrow the royal fleet, which we will use to intercept the ships and seize the treasure.
Huzzah! But, borrow the Royal Navy, you say?
Aye, only temporarily, of course. The Queen will hardly know her ships are gone. Indeed, when we return them to her bearing a handsome prize of Spanish gold, she will doubtless forgive our failure to file the correct paperwork and what not.
That's a terrible idea.
And how may I assist your lordship in this glorious endeavour?
Well, in order to intercept the Spanish fleet, we must know which route it is planning to take. One possibility is that it returns to Spain having retrieved the gold from the New World's southern continent. The other possibility, and this is the one Sir Walter thinks most likely, is that the gold has already been transported by conquistadors from the southern continent up to Havana, and the ships are to fetch it from there.
Then let us see whether the stars can tell us upon which route the treasure ships may be intercepted on their return to Spain from the New World. Will they be sailing from the southern continent or from the Spanish colony of Havana?
So we've got Hmm. Sure.
The stars are of the same mind as your friend Sir Walter Raleigh. Now, for regardless of where the Spaniards load their ships with gold, they will stop at the port of Havana. It seems the Spanish sailors will be unable to calm their carnal desires.
Excellent, excellent. But where are we to intercept them? Pray, give me the precise day, latitude, and longitude.
Certainly, my lord. But divining nautical coordinates is a somewhat lengthy and complex process. If your lordship would kindly return in an hour or so...
Quickly, sir! I have not the time to bide here all day.
Well then, let me see now. Taking into account the position of Jupiter, divide by 3, carry the 1. Yes. The Spanish treasure ships may be intercepted upon the 15th day of October at a latitude of 9 and 40 degrees north and 5 and 20 degrees west, or thereabouts. That said, however, I cannot promise you that...
Excellent. Raleigh and I shall sail to this very spot. Huzzah!
Huzzah! Godspeed, my lord.
Yeah, that's not gonna bite me.
Oh, she never went to school, and she's kind and never cruel. Do not take Alice for a fool. Alice Blood, she is no fool.
Good evening to you, madam. How might I...
Hi. Pray go tell your master, Mr. Forman, that Mistress Alice Blarg is come to see him.
Ah, Mistress Blarg. It is I, Dr. Simon Forman, at your service. And what an honour it is to welcome the wife of the Dean of Rochester to my humble practice. To whom do I owe my thanks for having recommended you to my care?
Well, I will not lie. You owe your thanks to nobody. For folk do tell me that you are not a real doctor, but a quack, who does conjure demons and dabbles most unlawfully in the dark arts.
I do assure you, madam, that whatever you may have heard, I am a...
Yea, do not quibble, sir. If I did seek the counsel of a doctor who has one of those fancy medical degrees, or the kind of high-bred know-it-all who does see fit to judge a woman and vex her most cruelly, I would have gone elsewhere. But, truth be told, I have need of such a man as you, for I have been bewitched by a witch.
Ah,
You don't say.
I see.
Yea, a loathsome spell has been cast upon me. It does cause me to awaken in the morning with a most terrible pain in my head, a pain so wretched it does have me chundering into my chamber pot.
Pain in the head and involuntary purging. And what leads you to believe your suffering is occasioned by witchcraft?
Well, the timing is most unnatural. My troubles do occur every Saturday morning without fail. I suspect the doings of our new neighbour, the widow Macdoon. As well as being Scottish, she does possess several cats.
Several cats, you say?
One or two of which I may have kicked, and now she has seen fit to take revenge upon me with her dark, foreign magic.
Indeed. Scotland is well known for the powerful black witchcraft practiced by its womenfolk. But as compelling as this evidence may be, my practice does draw upon the latest scientifical arts. To diagnose your condition, I must first perform a rigorous astronomical analysis. So, let us see now, what do the stars say is the cause of your Saturday morning suffering?
Noxious food or drink, being with child, or bewitched. Yeah, she's just getting drunk on Friday night and has a hangover Saturday morning.
Madam, may I delicately inquire as to whether it be the habit of you and your husband to take wine with supper? On Friday evenings, perchance? Drinking a little overmuch on occasion is nothing to be ashamed of. Many of my most respectable querents do find that a fine French claret can be deceptively...
Oh, nay, more's the pity. My husband is a tiresome teetotaler who prefers to spend his evenings writing sermons and counting coin. He hardly ever accompanies me to the tavern on Fridays.
Does he not? Well, in any case, I am much afraid that the ale you do consume upon these tavern visits may be to blame for your affliction. The consumption of strong drink can provoke an excess of black bile, which then does cause the body to purge itself the following day. I do advise you to consider...
Then I am not bewitched. But if that be true, then to poor Molly McDoon I have been most rude and unneighbourly. For shame. I must go to her this hour and apologise. Fare you well, Mr. Forman. I must bid you good day.
Beware conspirations, plots and machinations, the schemes of big physic to sell you their wares. Their cures do us violence, but they call it science. They mock our beliefs and belittle our fears.
Ah, well met, Mr. Mugg. How fare you since our first consultation?
It seems as you were right. Though I was, in sooth, much troubled with the vile disease of, what did you say it was? Fudgipus and Honeyman, I did not die.
Frigidus ad hominem. I am most glad to hear it, sir. Indeed, you do look well.
Well? Mayhap I look well now, but 'twill not be for long. I have been poisoned.
Poisoned? By the saints! Who is the author of this foul deed?
My friend George Sprottle, the bookbinder. I did dine with him not 2 hours ago.
Ah, I see. A bout of evil digestion. Pray tell, was there turned meat or some such at table?
Nay, not meat. 'Twas a pie full of cherries. I had a bite of it afore I knew what I was eating.
Cherries, you say?
Aye, cherries. And this after I took particular care to give Mistress Sprottle a list of foods I must not eat. I added cherries to the list when I did hear that the Countess of Devonshire has declared against their noxious qualities.
The Countess of Devonshire, you say? Noxious qualities, indeed. And now your symptoms, Mr. Mugg. Had you any reaction after eating these cherries?
My reaction? Well, I reacted as any man would. I spat them out. And know you what Mr. Sprottle did then, Dr. Forman?
Nay, but pray tell.
He did laugh at me. He even called me a dinner-ralphing fusspot. Fie, I may soon be in the grave, thanks to George. Will he still be laughing then?
Well, let us not speculate, shall we, Mr. Mugg? Now, let us see what the stars may tell us. What ails Nicholas Mugg?
Sure, we'll try that one.
Your condition has been provoked by the rancour you feel toward your host for having ignored your alimentary demands. These feelings have caused your spleen to produce ill humours, which you are presently venting in the form of bilious anger. Hence it will quickly pass.
I see. But what of the cherries I ate?
Cherries are perfectly safe to eat. Truly, Mr. Mugg, you must abandon these absurd and superstitious notions about the evils of particular fruits and vegetables.
Must I?
Aye. With the exception of onions, of course. For onions do render a man susceptible to the plague.
Onions, verily? I thank you for the warning, Dr. Forman. I shall add onions to my list.
Oh, what have we done? Well, he was happy with it, so yeah. We're 40% to another letter of recommendation. What?
For many creatures thou hast known. If one strength to forsake thee, find solace with another lady.
So basically, the best way to get over somebody is to get under somebody else? Is that what they're saying?
William! There you are. Did Mistress Allen call whilst I was out this day? Nay? You're quite sure about that, are you? I see. I cannot understand it. Why has Avis not come these past weeks? Does she no longer wish to see me?
Dude, you creeped on her. No, she don't want to see you. You creeped on her, then her accused her of banging your assistant. We can make her more paranoid. Or make him more paranoid. Yeah, you were an asshole. That's why she's
So,
not coming back.
'Tis the madness of my love that keeps Avis away. My jealous passions and accusations have vexed her, mayhap even caused her fright. When she comes to see me again, for she surely will, by and by, I must remember to be kinder to her, to not plague her with my suspicions. And until Avis does return, well, there are other women in the world, are there not?
I'm not going to recommend myself, apparently. Okay, so that worked out.
Eyes are nothing like the sun. If snowy white her breasts are done, and that is our description done, for she's but a lady. She's but a lady.
Good day, Mistress Lanier. Much time has passed since I last saw you. How do you fare?
In truth, not well, Dr. Forman, not well at all.
Then I am full sorry for it, madam. Pray, tell me what manner of ill has befallen you?
I have been publicly humiliated. Mr. S. has been circulating a collection of insulting sonnets about an unnamed dark lady, and all of London thinks this dark lady is me.
Well, your complexion is rather, that is to
I
say...
am described as having foul breath and black wires for hair. Though methinks the very worst line is the one that tells of a gross body rising at the utterance of my name. And I cannot abide illusions, Dr. Forman. If Mr. S. wishes to reference bodily levitation and other such cheap stage magic, he would do well to leave my name out of it. My interest is in the dramatic arts, not fairground attractions.
I am not sure that is quite his meaning.
Dr. Forman, you know of Mr. William Shakespeare, then? Do not tell me you have read the sonnets.
Well, I own that I have. But as you did remark, madam, all of London has read them.
Oh, well, I am undone. My professional reputation is now utterly spoiled, for now the whole world will look upon me as naught but Mr. Shakespeare's fancy wench. No longer will they judge me on my own merits.
Let us hope it is not as grave as that, madam. Have you discoursed upon the matter with him?
Nay, I dare not confront him about it. For we are almost at an end with our work on a play, and I dare not risk it not being staged.
Then let us see what the stars advise. What may Mistress Lanier do to restore her professional reputation?
Yeah, we're not going to tell her to abandon her ambitions and become a mother. Yeah, we'll go with that one.
You are right to be concerned about the damage to your reputation, Mistress Lanier, for there is a danger that your partnership with Mr. Shakespeare and his depiction of you in his sonnets will forever overshadow your own literary achievements.
God's womb. But what can I do to forestall such an injustice?
I suggest you spread a rumour of your own about another lady. For instance, there is a brothel owner in Clerkenwell they call Black Luce. If you were to put it about that she is the subject of Shakespeare's sonnets, 'twould do her reputation no harm. Indeed, the effect will be quite the reverse, for doubtless there be many a man at present who would pay handsomely for a tumble with Shakespeare's dark lady.
Well, indeed. I do feel 'tis most important to advance the interests of my fellow women, especially those seeking to make their way in business. Oh, do you see that, Dr. Forman? 'Tis your mute Italian querent. Signor Ferraro. He is staring at us through the window.
Is he? Then doubtless he has come for another consultation.
Oh, so close. So close.
When it feels like a play, an Italian cliché. When it feels like a play, an Italian cliché. Ferraro, Signor Ferraro.
Good day, senor, and well met.
Tis I, Riccardo Ferraro, come once again to see the great Dottore Simon Forman.
Indeed, I did recognize you, senor. How may I assist you this day?
I am ill. I tell you my problems. First problem. I do make a chandar in the morning. Next problems. My belly does swell and my chest 'tis a most tender to the touch. And now for the very most terrible of problems. I have the big fears. One moment I do weep, and the next I do curse and gnash my teeth. So, Dottore, you tell what ails me, huh? You wanna make a water into this cup? Un momento, I make the water.
Nay, not in my... prithee, hold. If you please, senor. As with our previous consultations, I shall be judging your illness by reading the stars.
So, you need not of my...
Nay, senor, I have no need of it. Whilst 'tis true that most physicians do spy and sniff their patients' urine, I find this method of piss-pot diagnosis most imprecise. Indeed, the practice is quite primitive. 'Tis my belief that if medicine is to advance in this modern age, we must all adopt a more scientifical method. I am quite sure history will bear me out on this question.
This scientifical method. 'Tis reading my diagnosis in the stars?
Precisely so. Speaking thereof, perchance we may consult the stars now. What illness troubles Signor Riccardo Ferraro?
Apoplexy. Yeah, dude, he described
This is
pregnancy
exceeding
concerns,
strange.
so we're just going to go
Your
with that one.
complaints of a tender chest, morning purges, swelling, along with the positions of the planets, they suggest you are with child.
You would judge me, a man, as being with a child? God's blood! What kind of a dottore are you?
Well, indeed, it does seem strange. I may have gotten my calculations wrong. Unless, of course, your moustache is naught but a canning disguise. But I jest, senor. 'Twas not my intention to doubt your manliness.
You jest! A lady who would disguise herself as a man? So silly. I think you see too many plays by Mr. Shakespeare, huh? Riccardo Ferraro bids you good day.
God's blood, that was a close shave.
Rosa, which marks the food on your plate? Are you verily sure that your dinner is clean? At me to explain how food causes your pain, but your friends and relations are very mean.
Good day, Mr. Mugg. Pray tell, did the matter with the, cherries resolve itself in the end?
Aye, indeed. I did tell my friend, Mr. Sprottle, what you said about how my shouting at him was owing to an upset of bile in my spleen. I also did speak to him on the evils of onions. I think he was most interested.
And what may I assist you with this day, Mr. Mugg?
I have the spotted fever. I must begin treatment now, or else I will...
Hold, sir. The spotted fever is exceeding rare. Why would you think you have such a disease?
Well, sir, not only am I covered all over in red spots, I have lately taken to chundering, such as are the very symptoms listed in the medical book I did read. I am already taking the treatment Mr. Cogan prescribes, but now I require...
You mean to say you have read Thomas Cogan's Haven of Health? Why, That is a most technical book, writ for doctors and medical students. How did you come to be reading it?
My friend George Sprottle did bind a printing of it in his shop. He kindly let me spy some pages afore 'twas sent up to Cambridge. Oh, but Dr. Forman, I forget myself. You have no medical degree, so you doubtless have not read it. Mayhap if I ask George nicely...
Sir, let us consult the stars and see if they may tell us what ails you.
Hypochondria. Wait, what? Induced by the appearance of benign pimples on the privy member. Evil indigestion, or evil digestion, or he does have the spotted fever. Yeah, you got hypochondria, dude.
The spots on your privy member suggest a mild venereal disease. Such pustules can appear so foul in appearance as to induce involuntary upward purging, as is the case here. It's also indicated that you suffer from
Dr. Forman, did you not hear me? I said nothing of spots being on my yardle. On my word, I know not why folk even bother with doctors. Not now we have books to consult. One thing more, if you please, Dr. Forman, for I feel I must give ye warning. A great storm is coming. I feel it in my bones, and my bones do always speak true. You would do well to bide indoors at the first sign of wind and rain. God keep you well, Dr. Forman.
Sure. Yeah, we're probably not going to get that recommendation. But I think on that sour note, we're about an hour into it again, so I think we're going to go ahead and leave this here, and we'll wrap it up on the next episode. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow.